All right. How do we start the beginning off?
Just welcome back.
No. What do we used to say? We say, I'm Destiny,
And I'm Sam.
and you're listening to Unmuted with Destiny and Sam. All right.
Ready?
Are we going to say it?
Yeah,
Okay.
let's go.
I'm Destiny,
And I'm Sam.
and you're listening to Unmuted with Destiny and Sam.
Welcome back.
After a long hiatus.
Yeah.
This is part 2 of our comeback.
Yay.
Yeah.
How have you been since our last one?
Ma'am.
No?
Ma'am.
Okay.
That was like 10 minutes ago. We are
I like to
recording.
mess with her.
Yeah. But we are going to continue in our life updates where we've been the last 4 years, what we've been learning, and this is my turn.
Your turn. Your turn. So finish this sentence. Right now I'm learning.
Right now, I'm learning rest.
Mm-hmm. What does that look like for you?
What does it look like?
Mm-hmm.
Letting Sabbath be an actual Sabbath.
I love Sabbath. Did anybody tell you I take my Sabbath rest seriously?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the one big thing, but also trying to just when I come home to not do anything so much, but it's been hard these days because I also have, another YouTube channel that I've been learning and doing things on. And
which has been great, guys.
Because I'm learning, it's taking a while because I'm right now learning a whole new editing software. So it's taking a while because I want to spend less money. So I have to learn this new software.
Which she's been doing good with the videos. You probably should tag your YouTube video on this so that way they could see.
So my channel name was Destiny's Extras. However, I have recently changed it to Past, PASSED, Perfect. And the channel trailer will be coming soon.
Yay.
I actually just released a short today.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
My phone didn't ding. So I'll have to go check it out because I'm subscribed, and most times when she posts, I get my little notification. But yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, what about you? Lately, I'm learning
to be present in the present.
Present in the present?
Yeah. To just be present. I feel like I've started to hide more behind this. You know how sometimes you're there,
but
you're not
on
there.
The phone more than
just
with the people around
you. So I'm learning, to just be in the moment. Just taking time. I feel like I can resonate with you when you say rest, because just learning to kind of slow down, like not everything is burning down, and I don't have to put out all the fires at once.
Like why do we? It's like it's a very scarce mindset.
Yeah.
Like nothing is gonna wait for us. It must be done right now.
Like it's gonna go away from us. And in Jamaica we always say what is yours can be on yours. So we say what fear can be unfear. So we don't need to be thinking that way, like we are not gonna have something because if we don't get it now, we just have this we gotta get it now, but just learning to be present. And I feel like I'm learning that through Matthew, even though we probably know this scripture all too well. Matthew 6, I don't remember the verse, but it said, come on.
6:33?
Yeah,
No.
come unto me, all who are labored and are laden.
No, that's not 6:33.
Okay, I don't know.
6:33 is about like not worrying about.
That's the one too, but because it says tomorrow has enough.
The correct verse will be on the screen.
Tomorrow has enough cares of its own.
Yeah.
So why worry about that? Just be, in the moment. And I feel like at times we just don't. Let me say, for me, all like some of the blessings and stuff that I've prayed for before, and like I'm now in that season, I feel like I haven't been pausing enough to enjoy that.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like God is dealing with me too.
I definitely feel that. And
yeah.
That is, that's a segue. That's part of what I'm going to talk about today in my spiel about where I've been and what I've been doing.
So where have you been? What have you been up to? 4 years.
Here in Florida.
No way.
So, well, the verse that I want to start off with, which is a verse that a lot of the things that I do are named after, which is Galatians 1:10. When I take pictures for people, the tag is always 110 media. If I release music, it's 110 media. So Galatians 1:10, and this is the God's Word translation, says, "Am I saying this now to win the approval of people or God? Am I trying to please people? If I were still trying to please people, I would not be Christ's servant." And that's a verse that I think that I've always lived out of when I've made any decisions, especially, going away to ministry school all those years ago. That's a podcast episode that you should watch or listen to if you have not already. Yeah. But any of those decisions have been like, well, who am I trying to please? Am I doing this or not doing it even because other people want me to do it or not do it? So I, throughout these past years, have been truly learning what it is to please God and to follow that path that He has set me on and not be swayed.
Do you think you were people pleasing?
No, I'm not a people pleaser at all. Yeah. My mother has always said that was a difference between me and my sister, especially when if my dad was upset with us. Yeah, she would say, well, she knows how to go in and smooth everything over, but me, I'm more stubborn. Yeah. And I don't. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm not.
She holds on to her own, to speak.
I'm not a schmoozer. I'm not. And maybe I should be. Maybe I get a lot more of what I wanted. Mm-hmm. But it's not. That's just not a gift that I have naturally. Yeah. Like some people do. Definitely not a people pleaser, though. And also another shameless plug. My next video will be about people pleasing.
Yeah. Did I put you onto that? I probably did.
I think you did.
Yeah, because
you suggested that I do that topic.
Yeah, because I had asked her. I think I'd asked her about that because I definitely feel like I live for people pleasing, and I'm kind of stepping away from that. So just learning that. So I'd ask her to kind of look into that end of it. So I'm excited to see that one.
Yeah. So I'm going to kind of go in chronological order. 2021, that was the last episode that we posted. 2021, I didn't really have a whole lot going on. I was just going to school. Yeah, and you were doing your master's and working. Yeah, I'd started my master's in counselor education or school counseling, but I also took enough classes to be eligible to be state licensed as a mental health counselor as well. So I am still, I'm graduated, but currently still working on the state licensing part because there's a lot of supervision hours that have to go along with that. But 2021 was fine for me. 2022 was mostly an uneventful year as well for me.
You got your goddaughter.
Let me tell my story. The beginning of 2022, I didn't have a whole lot going on. At the time, I was working at Chick-fil-A, and I actually opened a store in Plant City.
You did.
From November or October of 2021. But in 2022, I started working at the group home, the foster home for boys. And that was a big pivot, and I learned a lot there, and a lot of things have happened there that were great teaching moments.
Yeah.
But also, for the most part, it's been a joy to work with the kids, and that's another point of my life, and that tells me that I'm on the right path, because that's a part of my pattern, whether I want it to be or not. Like, working with kids is,
she's good with the youth.
I never really set out to be there, but that's where I always ended up. So I just embraced it at some point in my life. And being at about mid 2022, well, I guess August, we'll skip to August, when your child was born. When our child was born. That was a good time. That was, so 2022 was also my last year of grad school. So that was stressful then. And they, as Sam said in the last episode, they recommend that she not work during the program that she was taking. That last year of grad school for me, they recommended that we not work. However, I worked full time and also did an internship full time.
Yeah.
I would go to internship and then go to work until 11 o'clock at night afterwards. So that was fun. And then I was also doing overnights occasionally on the weekends
with the group home. Yeah, which I feel like you actually like
not overnight.
Not overnight, meaning, sometimes it's like, I'm probably gonna be done with them, and then I'll call and be like, where are you? I'm on my way to the to the group home. I'm like, wait.
Well, the reason I have not quit right now is later on. Okay. I will get to that. But it's, in short, I was waiting until my two oldest boys graduated from the group that I started with. But there are other reasons as well that will be discussed.
She likes it, though, I think.
I guess. But then around that time that you were about to give birth to, I was also in a relationship. Do you remember that? Because you acted like you didn't know what was going on when I told you, and when we looked at the outline for what we were going to say. Really?
Yeah.
2022?
Yeah.
You can't recall?
That's pregnancy brain era.
Yeah, it could be pregnancy brain, but I also might not have burdened you too much with it because of everything that was going on. But that time I was in a long distance relationship, and I'm an online dater because I don't go anywhere. And I don't like talking to people.
You can find people online. Yeah. Don't knock it till you try.
Yeah. So that went on for a while. I even went to see him. He lives, maybe he still lives there. He lives in New Jersey. So me and another one of my friends, we flew up there in October, kind of have a little meet and greet. And that went well. But then after I got back, he ghosted me. That doesn't ring a bell. But yeah, I was ghosted, and I was aghast. I was shocked.
Yeah.
I was like, what? But basically, from what I could decipher from the messages, was he didn't feel like he was ready or whatever. which is, side eye.
Yeah.
What did you think this was?
Right. Seriously, bro.
Yeah.
Thank God you blew it.
So that happened, and usually I don't really put too much stock in people and their ways. But that really got to me. And maybe it was because of the other things that were going on around me as well. But that was also in my last 2 months, 3 months of grad school.
Yeah.
And I was extremely depressed going through that last period. It was hard for me to turn in assignments on time. I was
remember that.
I was asking for a lot of extensions. And for me, when I'm depressed, I don't eat a whole lot just because I don't have an appetite. And my friends who were in school with me, some of them made me take a picture of myself eating to send to them. I mean,
yeah, she doesn't.
I laugh now, but that's not
hard.
good.
It was a hard time.
Yeah. So I was just kind of focused on getting through it and finishing this degree that I had spent my money on.
Right.
And I couldn't see anything else. Yes, I was depressed, but I was not dealing with it. So because I was not dealing with it, it's still weighing on my mind, even though I'm trying not to
suppress it or,
So not being able to concentrate, turning in stuff late, like I said.
And that's definitely not you.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's always she's like a stickler for time and very meticulous with things. So that must have been really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. But was this your first long distance?
No.
So what you felt was different about this relationship versus the others that you felt like?
Well, maybe because I felt like all the okay. In relationships, and this is like any relationship really, whether it's romantic or not, I know that certain ones have an expiration date. And so before him, I always knew these weren't for me. So it was whatever.
Right. Yeah.
And then with him, I did get this ain't for you. But because he was adamant,
You did get what?
I got the warning.
Oh,
maybe not warning, but I got the
signs or hints,
the inkling,
yeah.
the I don't know. People don't think I'm crazy, but God speaks to me and He lets me know things, and He tells me things, whether it's just in my mind, or I've heard physical voice before, or I'll hear somebody else saying it, and that's something that I've been thinking anyway.
Yeah.
And so regardless, it's always confirmed. And the Lord lets me know things. And so there was, deep down in me, I knew that wasn't it. But because of how he was approaching things and everything, I was like, all right, we can do this.
Yeah. So you felt like you ended up investing more than you probably would have otherwise. Yeah. And she takes her investments seriously. Yeah. I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah. So by the time I graduated, things were a little bit better at the end of 2022. And I had a job lined up and everything at the school. I was a school counselor. And things were pretty good, honestly. The beginning of 2023, it was a time that was full of maybe hope and also uncertainty, because I was starting this new thing, and that's the time that I also moved out on my own for the first time in March of that year.
I was so proud of that. But you remember how long we kept looking at rental spaces
Yeah, from the time that you came here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was so crazy how the vast difference in the amount in terms of the pricing of rental property from, when I came like from that 2019 to like 2022, 2023, it was a huge difference in terms of the price points for what you were getting. And we're like, what? What happened?
Yeah.
But yeah.
It was crazy. But so moved out on my own. Everything's still normal, fine, everything's good. But one thing that started to be more clear or apparent to me in 2023 was something that I think I've always known in the back of my mind, but was solidified for me, that the Lord puts me in places and situations to meet people. And sometimes it's certain people. So somehow I always end up with talking about Jesus somewhere, everywhere. And I think one thing that started to become apparent to me in that time was that he wants me to talk to the people who aren't are churched, but who aren't necessarily living like they are churched, or who just don't know. Like, they're going to church, but there's no study.
But they're not taught. They're not learned. They don't have that knowledge.
Yeah, with people. And the confirmation for that came again this past week. I went back to work from summer break, and we've been having these little Bible studies.
That's really awesome, though.
In our room after we finish doing whatever on our computers, me and the other people I work with. And they're just impromptu. It's like, because they'll ask a question, and for the most part, I have the answer to it. It's been me and this older lady as well who's doing it, but that also confirmed breach for me too. And really, all of this that I'm doing, I've realized that my ministry has always been to people who are in church or who were in church. And that's where I found the most success. And I don't necessarily mean success as in, this many people were baptized.
No.
But that's where I think the calling is fulfilled. And so,
not all the time we have to have a stage for the ministry.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, we always have a stage. Everything that we do is a stage.
The whole lights, camera, action. That's what I mean in terms of stage, where people have to see that you're ministering. No, just her ministering at her work.
I don't even tell people that I used to work in ministry. It just happens. Or they'll ask a question or say something. I'll be like, I should answer this. Because like, how do you know the word and then you don't say anything, or you don't share it? That's not being a good steward of your knowledge. That's not living for Jesus, especially if you're letting people believe a lie. And you know what the truth is.
But you mentioned breach. They might not know what breach is, so just not an in-depth, but just briefly. Just say what that is.
So when I came back, if you all remember, I was a youth pastor in Oregon. When I came back from Oregon, I went, I didn't go nowhere. Well, I did kind of, I can say that. I went to a small youth group at not my church, but another church in town, and told that pastor my idea, which was basically to have like a young adult group, because there was none in the area. And he was like, cool, let's do it. And so we did it. And then he got transferred to another church. So then it was just me doing it. And it was good, and we had good momentum. However, COVID killed us. And
like literally.
And we haven't been able to like get it together to start it again. But that has been something that's heavy on me that I need to start again. And it's called Breach after Isaiah 58, where it says that, you shall be the repairers of the breach. And, the breach is like that in-between place between knowing God and not knowing God, between the church and not church.
Right.
So we want to be that in-between place where you can get teaching and healing and anything else that you may need.
Yes. Amen.
All right. So we're in 2023.
Yeah.
But we're in 2023. I'm working. I'm moving. I'm living on my own. And then I meet someone else in April of that year. And that goes pretty well until maybe like August. And that was just because he just didn't have emotional maturity. Like, he's a great guy. And I have nothing bad to say about him. But it was just one thing after another. And he had all this stuff going on with his family. And the main thing is, I was just the back burner.
Yeah.
And I don't make other people the back burner. So you're not going to make me the back burner. And there were like 3 major things that happened, which we can talk about in a future episode. But, 3 strikes, you're out. And so I didn't close the door completely, though. I would still converse with him if he sent me a message or anything, because he told me I didn't have to, but I know he wanted me to wait for him until he could get it together.
Yeah.
But that was not in the plan.
No, not God's plan, right?
Yeah. Yep. That was not God's plan, because honestly, I'd probably still be waiting to this day. But that was not the plan
waiting
that
for
God
the
had.
perfect time. There's no perfect time.
But needless to say, that was a very hard time too. Not as hard as the first one, because it was kind of different too, and I think there was more of a maturity in that relationship as well. So that ends in October, November-ish of 2023, and then I kind of go on a hiatus, if you will, from that. And then we get to April again.
You have a thing for April, huh?
Yeah, April of 2024, I decided to jump back into the dating. And then a few weeks later in May, I met who is now my husband.
What?
Yeah.
You married?
Maybe. Yes.
Yay.
I'm married. We got married, 2 months ago? In May.
In May.
May of this year, 2025.
Yeah. Wow.
And that has been interesting. The whole process of getting to this. But again, it goes back to, am I doing this to please people?
Yeah.
Am I doing this to please God? Because I don't think I would have done anything that I've done if I were doing it for other people. And, even going back to the sharing the word at work, that's frowned upon technically, legally.
Yeah.
So I'm not doing anything in my life that's not what God wants me to do.
Yeah. And you don't force it.
Mm-mm.
You don't force the situation. You don't like try to pry the door open. He gives you the opportunity and you take it. Do you feel like you want to take it all the time?
Take the opportunity? No.
Yeah.
No, I didn't want to go to Oregon when I was a youth pastor, really. And, Mark and I almost broke up once.
Yeah.
So
thank God for that friend that, told her to just be more patient.
Yeah, because I think you were telling me to move along.
I was, based on what she was telling me, and I've always been just I don't know, about guarding your heart. Like,
Yeah.
and I guess just kind of knowing, like, some of the breakups that she have gone to, I'm like, you don't need. As I tell you, Destiny is very, like, invested. If she invests her time, especially her time, if she invests, herself into things and into people, it's not such a easy thing. It's not that she's not gonna let go, but it's not so easy to go through that sort of breakup period, so to speak. So I'm like, we're not gonna do this. I'm grateful for that friend because she did recommended couple books which we both are reading and have been such a tremendous blessing.
Yeah, the power of the praying,
Wow.
the power of the praying series, because it's a whole series.
It's a whole series
for men and women.
Yeah,
and I think there's one for children or
teens.
teens.
which I've been looking into getting. But the praying woman, the praying wife,
the praying husband, the praying man.
Yeah. So it's been really good. Even the praying woman one that's really been good. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm grateful for that friend.
Yeah, Karen.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you for being. We always need that. You're always gonna have that either one friend that's gonna tell you skedaddle, or you're gonna have that one friend that's gonna encourage you to wait it out and kind of see.
But see, unless they're like, unless the person is doing just something crazy, I'm usually gonna be the person that says, "Let's see how it goes." Yeah. But yeah, not you. Not you.
That means so pray for me. But yeah.
So that was 2024 and a little bit of 2025. But one thing that was big in 2024 as well for me was going to therapy, finally.
Yes. Listen, I think it's from we started, before we even started Unmuted, you've been talking about therapy and talk about searching high and low, and nobody was perfect or good enough for this woman.
It's not even that. Is that, when I first started looking, my dad was still working, which my dad was a mental health counselor at the time, and he was a supervisor over a network of clinics. And so the people who were working in the clinics also had private practices, which also made my dad their supervisors. And so like two people I reached out to, they were like, "Oh, someone you're related to is my direct supervisor." And I was like, So, but it came around when it needed to come around. And at the time, because I found a great therapist, she's not my therapist anymore just because she left the practice. But
the practice is a good, because we've started to. It's really a good. Yeah. Because they're God-centered. Yeah. And to end your session with prayer, I love prayers. That was my favorite part.
But that was a big thing, and also working less. And that's something that I had implemented when I was in the relationship from 2023. I was like, okay, if I'm going to do this, if I'm going to look for it, then I need to actually have time to do it. So I scaled back a lot of hours at the group home and just mostly did my one job for that whole year. And then 2024 added the therapy onto it, and having the vulnerability to say that I need help is not something that I would have chosen to do of my own will. Yeah. But it was a blessing, and it taught me so many things about myself and about other people, and also going with the theme of doing things to please people. I am naturally not a people pleaser, but I did find certain patterns of thinking that did lean towards doing what other people wanted me to do, or thinking, thinking that they wanted me to do it.
Yeah, because sometimes, I don't know if you probably had thoughts like this, like, if I don't do it, I might lose them, in a sense. Or, not being their good graces sometimes. Mine
was more centered around like family and doing things to please
appease them.
Or like, yeah, or like what I thought that they would want me to do, or what would be the right answer, quote unquote. Because some people probably got something to say about like me doing the online dating thing. I'm
yeah, yeah. And these days, I mean, I wasn't big on like online dating or anything like that. But Destiny have opened my eyes. She had met, some really good guys. I've had other friends who are even now married from online dating too. So as I said, don't knock it till you try it.
But what I've been learning these past 4 years is patience. Definitely patience. Because I didn't have a lot of that.
You have grown tremendously in that area.
And perseverance, and who my specific ministry is for. Like I said, getting to the people who are churched but who don't know things like righteousness by faith, like your faith is what saves you.
Yeah.
That's one thing that we recently went over scripturally, and it's been very, maybe I won't say weird, but that's the only word that's coming to my mind, because a lot of these things are not natural to me, but then they are because of who they're coming from, which is the Lord.
Yeah, the Holy Spirit does that.
Mm-hmm.
He'll put the words in your mouth and, all that good stuff. So
yeah. So there was no specific moment either where we decided to return, in my mind.
Yeah.
I've always known that we were going to come back, and it's always been nagging at the back of my mind, and I've always been like, oh, that'd be a good topic for us to talk about, or certain things.
Or she'd be like, ma'am, when are we gonna talk about the podcast?
Yeah. Well, sometimes that would be my fault too, that we wouldn't talk about it.
Yeah.
Because things have been thinking. They've been
lifing, so to speak.
They've been going on. But we found our voices again.
Yeah.
We've never lost them, but it was just time for us to be quiet for a while and to learn and grow, and for God to give us experiences and to give us more testimony, for Him to be a testament for how good He is, and we have to share that.
Yeah, because 4 years, it has really flown by, but as I said, I've been praying, and I said, Lord, sometimes I feel like I've been stretched thin in terms of, time and doing this and doing that. And I feel like He has slowed me down, because even like today, after, we're kind of going back and forth with, our outlines and everything. And when I felt like I was kind of done for the most part, I was like, Lord, I feel like there's something I should be doing. It's like, no. You need to go rest. And, I went to put my toddler to bed, and I rested with her. And I feel like if I didn't do that, I don't feel like I would have had the energy. Because, my energy just goes low as the evening comes. So, it's like, no, you don't. You need to rest. And you have asked me for this. You have asked me to slow down and enjoy the blessings that I've, given you. So
And I think this is the first time that I really sat down and thought about everything that has happened, and the ways that I have grown and changed over these past few years. So I'm realizing some of these things in the moment right now as well,
which is
that we can flesh out in future episodes,
which is still such a blessing, and such a reminder that God is, He's, I don't know, He just perfects all that concerns us. That's like, what's kind of coming to mind. He literally perfects all that concerns us. He's not saying we have to be perfect or we have to get everything. He does.
Yeah.
He's the one.
That's what perfection is, when we let Him do it.
Not us. So I'm really grateful, Destiny. I'm really proud and just super happy and excited, about where your life is right now. And you know because there are times we would say, oh, I will never get married, and either one of us would encourage each other and be like, you are gonna be
we did
married.
say that,
We always
didn't we?
like, either she would say, I'm never gonna get married, and I would say, I'm never gonna get married, and she would.
No, because that's how I was feeling after that 2023. I was like, I'm done with this. I'm not even doing
she would
this.
be like, marriage
just
isn't
a
for
headache.
me,
This is just a headache
and whatnot. So it's kind of good to kind of see that. And don't get me wrong, we're not saying marriage is completion, it's not, because there's still so much that God has in store for us to do. But even just having friendships like ours, just persons to kind of do life with, like whether it is to be there for you when you're feeling just super down, or just like when it comes down to certain hard decisions where they could probably like either, because Destiny is more like the logical thinker, I'm more like the heart, you know so sometimes you probably give context to some of the thoughts and be like, okay, that makes sense. So sometimes it's not all the time it's just about marriage, but just to remind you that friendships are important. We're not an island. We are to have that. That's how God wants us to have that sense of like communion, or that friendship, and just having somebody in our corner, knowing that you're not alone.
Faith, friendship, and fun.
Yeah.
When with that, we're back.
We back.
This is our part 2 of our comeback episode. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you download it.
Yes.
We hope you watch it. We hope you like it. We hope you comment down below about some of the things that you've learned in the past however long.
Yeah.
Just what God has been teaching you.
Yeah. If it's this week, if it's last month, whatever
2 years ago,
yeah.
Whatever it is, what has God shown you? How has He been faithful to you? And we'll catch y'all in the next one.
Yeah.
We're not going to put a time on it yet because we're not sure.
Yeah.
But we'll be back.
We'll be back.
We'll be
back. All right.
That's it.
Bye.